Hi, my name's Alan Keegan. When we look at the issues of football, racism and particularly discrimination, when we look at the aspects of British football, it goes back a long way because we can look at British stroke Scottish football when we look at the sort of Celtic Rangers situation with the Catholic and the Protestants, the discrimination, the racism that's come in there. And more locally, when we look at English football, particularly over recent times, I think that overall racism has been dealt with by the football authorities in a positive way. But that doesn't detract from the issue that there is still racism in English football. We only have to look at the situation with Luis Suarez and Patrice Evra 12, 18 months ago, and one can ask themselves, was the conclusion final there? Was the penalty served out to Evra sufficient to send out a message? And that's where the debate can come into these sort of scenarios, because some people would say yes, it was enough, other people would say no, it wasn't. And then we take it further with the situation with John Terry and Anton Ferdinand, and it grows and grows because there was lots of issues there. It went to the civil court and John Terry was found innocent, but then the Football Association have taken it on a separate route, and that's where the debate opens up, because the law of the land have found him non-guilty. Yet when we look at the sort of court procedures and we look at the FA procedures, they're totally different. Yet the FA found him guilty and looked at a ban that consisted of 4 games with what one might consider a very small fine compared to the money that John Terry earns a week. So all these things come into it because it's all about the bigger picture of discrimination and racism in English football. We look at the situation where Kick It Out are doing their best. We're looking at the situation of the message that the FA are trying to deliver. And we also can ask ourselves, are footballers role models to the next generation, whether it be the younger players coming through or whether it be the football fan? And on one aspect we can say, yes, they are a role model. People are looking at watching them play football every day, every week. They're reading about them in the football magazines, in the newspapers. Yet there is a debate that can say, well, at the end of the day, it's a job and they're in a professional industry, but when they finish the job, they go home to do what they want. Why should they be a role model for up-and-coming footballers or young fans? So the debate is still very split on that. But at the end of the day, when we look at racism in football, I think the authorities are trying to deal with it. It's a slow process. It certainly is massive in Europe when you look at the problems, particularly in Eastern Europe, and you can see what goes on over there. But as regards bringing it to the English football league and the way that we try and handle it here in England and in the UK or Britain as a whole, I think we do a good job. It's tough, it's difficult. Will racism go away? I don't think so. Can it be dealt with, and can people try and control it and sort of put in some guidelines? Yes, I do. And I think that English football is certainly trying to do that.